Mental Mondays coming at you.
Wake up! You can't remember where it was. Has this dream stopped?
I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money.
Woo!
Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living. That is to go on doing things you don't like doing.
This shit, I tell you.
It is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Damn straight. We're gonna talk about it. Hey. Hey. Mental. Hey, we're getting mental. What's going on, everybody? Happy Mental Health Mondays. Your boy Matty B. Epis Radio. This is Mental Mondays with episode 20. I almost said the Epis Sports Radio thing, and I caught myself there a little bit. How's everybody doing? How is your Monday? All right. Woo! Just wind down, baby. All right, relax. It's over. We got through it. One day down. 4 more to go. I don't know. All right, 4 more to go. Listen. Just vibe, baby. Listen, relax. All right. It ain't that important. You can let it go. You can let it off. Episode 20, plant the seed and let it grow. Okay? We're going to break down this week's mental health video of the week as we always do at the beginning of the show. And also at the end of the show. All right? I think we're going to go, I think I'm going to go for about an hour today. I don't know. We'll see. But I think an hour is appropriate. All right? Thank you, as always, for joining me. I'm just vibing a little bit to start this show. I'm not even gonna lie, just all right. Just feeling it. Happy Mental Health Monday, everybody. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me, whether you're watching live here now on Twitch and YouTube, or you're watching in post. We appreciate you, as always. Keep showing up. Please, as the show goes on, like, comment, follow, subscribe, notifications on, whatever it is you got to do to help support the channel. We appreciate you. Nasty day here in the Northeast overall, just weather-wise. You know, weather has been terrible pretty much throughout the weekend and into the Monday. And hopefully the rest of the week has better in store. Wherever you come from us, hopefully it was much better than it was for me. But, you know, you try to make the best of it. It's a Monday, you know, back to work for me. So, you know, back to the old routine. You know, and honestly, it's a bit of a breath of fresh air. You know, I got to admit. I kind of feel a little bit reinvigorated, you know, this time around, taking a little bit of leave, having, you know, taking about a month, you know, off from work and do, you know, my newborn son. And I just feel, I feel refreshed. I feel, I don't know, just passionate about the job, passionate about being there, and it doesn't seem as much of a chore as it did before. You know, let's see how long that lasts. Might not last very long, but you know, nonetheless, you know, you gotta take it as it comes. And you know, right now certainly seems to be this new reinvigorated passion towards the job, and you got to embrace it. But listen, we all know, in the nature of the Mental Health Monday, that that's not always going to be the case. that is not, is not guaranteed to wake up on the right side of the bed, if you will. And some days we got to get through it. I kicked off my day in a kind of shitty mood, honestly. A coworker of mine kind of pissed me off a little bit. I'm not going to get into great details, but it's fine. It happens. It is what it is. Maybe he's having a shitty Monday. I don't know. But you try to make the best of it. On top of that, it was in the nature of what I do, it was relatively busy. So, but work is work, right? I'm there. Embrace it. It is what it is. Like, just don't let it, get to you. Do what you got to do and get out of there, and embrace and be passionate while you're doing it. I don't know. It was a good day for me, despite the weather, despite everything. You make it a good day. That's the mindset, right? And again, it ties into the topic of the show. Plant the seed and let it grow. All right, you can apply that to so many things, and in this case, apply it to the mindset. Plant that seed, for example, as hey. It may not be a great start, but let's make it a good day. Just the idea, the notion alone of saying that let's make it a good day can just flip it easily, quick. Listen, easier said than done, but, sometimes it really is just the mind over, and not sometimes, it is mind over matter all the time. You have a choice to be happy, sad, sure. Are there other outside factors that are going to play into that are going to inherently, influence a negative outcome, in terms of your mindset? Sure. But again, it's how long you let that last, and it's the recognition to, stop it in its tracks while it's happening. And then replanting that damn seed. And let it grow, man. That's it. Seems simple. It is simple. We overthink this shit a little too often, and as humans, we are just amazing at overthinking everything, right? It's practically all we do. I think in this day and age, especially, ever more so, with technology and social media, the whole algorithm, we feed into it, we live off of it. It's become a part of who we are as a society. We can't even escape it unless you truly are living in an off-the-grid scenario. It's easy. It's easy to fall victim to it, but it's a matter of pushing through. And it's a matter of just waking up and planting that seed every day or the night before and letting that grow overnight into who you truly are and who you want to be. With that being said, I don't want to waste too much time with my opening monologue. I think said enough there. All right. I think that's a good segue into this week's mental health video of the week. All right. If you haven't already done so, please go check it out on all of the socials, pretty much all the socials. I stopped posting, and not really because just whatever. It's kind of whatever, but I was hitting roadblocks in terms of posting on the Epis Sports Radio Facebook page for whatever reason. When I try to post my videos through the web browser, I run into this error in which it just throws up a roadblock. So now it kind of forces me to a position to post all my videos via mobile phone. And if any of you have ever had to do that, considering the types of videos I'm trying to do, things like that. It's just it's an inconvenience at the end of the day. It's not something that I couldn't do. It's just like it's becoming annoying, and also I'm doubling back on whether or not I really want to keep the Facebook Epis radio page going. To be completely honest with you, not that it, I mean, I guess it's worked. I just, I feel like Facebook in itself is just a dying social media. And I question really, who's, in terms of younger generation, if and any, are actually utilizing it. So to me, it kind of seems like a waste of time, especially when you have like all the other socials. So I don't know. That's just me, though. I mean, you let me know in the comments if you're watching, our, stuff off of Facebook a lot of times. There are some people, for sure, but it's not a lot. Most of our traction is on the other socials. TikTok right now is kind of blowing up, doing its thing. So, I, seen substantial growth from the talk. So, but if you haven't already done so, please go check it out. Outside of the Facebook, it is on my personal Facebook page, so you could check that as well. But Instagram, TikTok, we're on Threads. Shit, I feel like Threads of them all are, probably thriving more than Facebook is, because it's essentially just another Twitter, right? And that's one that we're not on either. So, I know we call it Twitter. It's not, X now, but, I'm not, I have one. But I don't post on there. Should I? Maybe. Probably should. Now that I'm back on, now I'm on TikTok, actually, so I don't know. All right, so let me get on to it right here for you. All right, this week's mental health video of the week. If you haven't got a chance to, go check out the Instagram page, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Epis Radio. All right, you got my personal page, Epis Benedetti, as well. All right, here it is, this week's mental health video of the week. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to plant the seed. Have the idea, come up with a plan, and execute. Things take time. It may not be easy at first, but eventually you get better at it. But it starts with planting the seed. It's the key to life. And eventually, come out on the other side, and you'll get rewarded. Keep showing up. All right. One more time for you, if you're just catching it. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to plant the seed. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, everybody. Have the idea, come up with a plan, and execute. Things take time. It may not be easy at first, but eventually you get better at it. But it starts with planting the seed. It's the key to life. And eventually, it's a nice little tomato flip right there, right? Come out on the other side. Don't knock the tomato flip. The little cherry tomato flip. And you'll get rewarded. Keep showing up. All right, keep showing up indeed. All right, that is this week's mental health video of the week. Please, if you can, if it's not too much, just go like, maybe throw a little comment in there, throw up an emoji. It really helps it going. It really pushes the algorithm. We don't have a lot of followers on the Instagram page, nor the TikTok. We're really just trying to get that off the ground still, and just that one like, that one comment, a share, even just whatever it is you can do. we appreciate it. And even if you just watch it, give it a nice little view, or watch the whole duration, that also helps it move along in the algorithm as well. So we appreciate the support as always. And I say me, of course, Epis, aka Matty B, and my co-host W. Dubois, who does the Epis sports shows with me, and anybody who's ever been a part of this, Epis train, my wife included, just everybody that's helped in the background. Shout out to my brother Zero Sorrow, and all the other good people that have made the contributions to this show. I appreciate you very much. Plant the seed and let it grow. I filmed this in my little garden, my little backyard. It ain't much, all right? Over the last couple of years, I really started to learn how to grow and, not only food, but, plants as well. And just, learning how to own a property and learning how to landscape a little bit. And, I fell in love with it, to be honest with you. I really did. This year, I didn't do as much as I have in years past in terms of growing food, and mainly just because I've been so busy talking with you guys, and that's the God's honest truth right there. I mean, along with other things, having another child, and literally what 3 and 5 years now, and it's just been a lot, right? There's a lot going on, and you don't go from 5 subscribers on YouTube to 31,000, almost at 32,000 in 8 months by doing nothing. So I have devoted a lot of my time to the show, and taken away from my time in the garden. And I think going forward the next year, I'm really going to try to find a better balance, or just, better, not a better balance, because I think the balance was okay. It's just that I didn't devote enough time to the garden, what I had to do. And, I saw this as a great opportunity, to really, talk about a message, and it can be applied in everyday life, not just, in terms of growing food or, tending to your garden, tending to the garden in your mind, right? And building sustainable growth within yourself and for your future. The phrase in itself, plant the seed and let it grow, everything starts with the idea, right? You have a passion for something. You have, just a thought that comes across the mind, and then all of a sudden you've now drawn inspiration from it. It's all got to start from somewhere. But like I say in the video, now it goes beyond just planting the seed. That's the first step. But you got to tend to it. You got to tend to it, and you got to make sure, that, seed that you have planted is watered, right? Like, it's got to get enough sunlight. It's needs a little tender loving care. As I say, I did post another video where I was talking about my garden, just in general, like just real, not throwing around the metaphors for the sake of the Mental Monday, but actually speaking on my garden, saying how this type of setup that I've had is more of a chaotic setup. It's chaos gardening. That's what we call it. Just kind of letting nature do its thing and reaping the benefits. And so I did in essentially the minimal amount of steps necessary that still was able to produce a bountiful harvest, right? So, and I like that. That's cool. You know, I mean, that's like, you know, you're talking, you know, low effort, you know, high reward. I mean, you know, it's more low risk, high reward type situation. That's a good investment on my part. You know, this year in itself, all the tomatoes that I harvested, which were about like 3 to 4, you know, big harvest, which is pretty good. You know, was all free. I didn't spend a dollar, you know, on it. And again, like I say in the mental health video of the week video, you know, it takes time. You know, you got to plant that initial seed, right? You know, for me, I spent a lot of money in, you know, investing in the raised garden bed and investing my time and just effort and you know, spending more money on plants and things like that. You know, it's just, it's a lot. But eventually, you reap the rewards. And you can apply that to your everyday life. You know, and long term as well. You know, investing in your future and who you are and what you believe in. But again, holding on to the idea that, hey, you know, these things take time. You know, but nothing's ever going to change if you don't plant that seed, which is something that oftentimes I know for myself, you know, I was reluctant to do so, but I see it in a lot of others as well, man. You know, we and the reason being is that we second guess ourselves constantly, right? You know, we are our own worst critics. We just think, you know, I don't know, what are people gonna think? What are, you know, what is my family gonna think? What is Joe gonna think? What are, you know? No. You know, we need to stop thinking in this way. I don't know if it's more so because of what I kind of like touched on at the top of the show with society and how it is and how we're so wrapped up in the social aspect of our lives and much less in tune with what really matters. I don't know. You know, it's really tough to hit on the nose. I don't have the answers. I don't know. You know, I'm merely, you know, speaking off experience and saying, hey, this kind of, you know, worked for me. Why not? You know, maybe it could work for you. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to take my word, you know, as gospel and follow it, you know, step by step. But, you know, I gotta say, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place right now. You know, I was just talking with the wife today about, you know, my progress mentally, lately, as of late, where I feel more motivated than I ever have, to come on here and talk to you guys and just do the thing, man, you know, and not that it wasn't there before, but I think there was a lot of mental roadblocks, you know, getting in the way. And, you know, for whatever reason, you know, these things, you know, will hold a person back. And, you know, for me, over the years, I mean, it's always been, you know, me being my own worst enemy, you know, like really just me, you know, preventing me from taking that extra step and not even planting the seed, fucking throwing the seed away, you know, letting it go to waste. You know, whereas now I'm like, all right, you know, fuck around and find out. I don't even care anymore. All right, let's plant this seed. All right, this don't work. All right, cool. Let's try this. Oh, that don't work. All right, next thing. Like, and that's gone into, you know, my content creating now and just in life, man. Like, just, you know, something I was thinking about today is saying, you know, yes more often. I think that's something that I have to incorporate. I think I've said no to a lot of things in my life just because, you know, anxiety, like just telling me not to, you know, like, hey, you know, it's not something I really want to do, whatever. And I'm talking about, situations where, for me, socially, it's just rather uncomfortable, something I'm not used to. I think maybe, it could be a key to opening up doors that I never knew were there, you know what I'm saying? Or the doors that I am seeking, but I really didn't know how to find. I don't know, just the thought that it crossed my mind today. Maybe that could be a future mental health video of the week as well, along those themes, opening up doors, or saying yes, there's definitely something there, but again, planting that seed and letting it grow can't say how important that is enough, for overall, for your mental health and just, who you are as a person. And, it can be applied in the extreme sense, to what you want to do in life and as a career or as a husband, as a friend. Or it could just be broken down into much smaller parts and, take it in and apply it to your everyday life. And just keep it simple, at work and, something to get you through the day. Hey, of course, not all of us have the fortune of working our dream jobs, but sometimes you got to make the best of the situation that you're in, and just be grateful, man, that you even get to go to work, you even get to do what it is you do. The fact that you're even listening to me now, it's a beautiful thing, just really, it's a part of why I love my job, because, I may not necessarily, love every single person that walks through the door, but it is always and will always be a constant reminder that life is precious and life is short. And man, if you're not planting those fucking seeds and, fucking around and finding out, excuse my language. But I say that in the best way possible. I really do, because there's so much people out there that really wish they could. That really just wish that, hey, man, there's more important things. And if I was able, I would live life to the fullest, but they can't for whatever reason, And then I want to sit over here and, complain about my job. It's rough. It's not easy. I'm tired. It's been a long day. We were up early with the little ones, little Coop keeping us up all night. I could be stressed about 1,000,001 things, but hey, the bills are paid, the water's on, the lights are on, the show is on. Hopefully the wife's happy. I think the wife's happy. If not, then I will tackle that too. I had a good day, for the couple hours that I was with the kids, and it's a beautiful thing. Life goes on. It's a happy mental health Monday. Was the weather absolute shit outside? No doubt. Zero, what's going on? There he is. What's going on, broski? How you doing tonight? Happy Mental Health Monday, man. Thank you for joining me, as always. What are you getting into tonight? What game is on the docket? Because I know you got something. You haven't been streaming. All right, the people want to know why Zero... Well, I'm sure the people that matter know. But the people need Zero Sorrow to be back on the stream, man. Especially on these Mental Mondays and the Taco Tuesdays. All right, we miss you. For those of you that be like, what's going on? Like, who's he talking about? Zero Sorrow coming from Twitch. Those to you that are watching from YouTube. All right, check him out. It's my brother. Good streamer, great streamer. He's told me everything that I know, so go check him out over there. I know you're lurking. Go play your games. What games are you playing, all right? Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Happy Mental Health Monday, everybody. We're approaching 40 minutes now. Overwatch. You're not playing anything else? Just an Overwatch night? Alrighty. I'll enjoy. Hope you get some good matches in. Switch topics a little bit. We'll recap the whole mental health video of the week and just the message, the overall message of the show. As we get to the end, we're already at 40 minutes, so not too much time to talk about, but I did want to get into some other topics that just, you know, have interested me a bit. You know, with this whole government shutdown going on, okay, it didn't even cross my mind that certain services that I have, you know, interest in, I suppose, would be affected by it. And one of them is the national parks. And I have it up there on the screen for you guys. The government shutdown brings waves of illegal activity to Yosemite National Park. Sorry, feeling a bit under the weather, unfortunately, so I'm definitely catching something. And that's okay. We power through that as well. We're not gonna, you know, let that negative seed, you know, overtake me. Okay, it's all good. Shout out to my coworker Ralph. I'm pretty sure I got it from you. I don't know. If you're watching, bro, love you. It's not your fault. Don't worry. I'm not really, I'm not holding you responsible. That's the only thing I can think of, though. I have returned to work and I'm sick, and I know my boy was feeling it for a little bit there. So kind of heads up. But I don't know. Love you, bro. Don't worry, I'm not mad at you. Even if you were the real reason why I'm getting sick. It's all right. We moved through. So, you know, again, the whole government shutdown, say what you will. This is just, I don't care what side you're on government-wise. You know, like, the fact that there is a government shutdown right now is a problem. The fact that there's one political party, obviously the Conservative Party, and the Republican Party that, you know, is just blatantly not trying to resolve this issue and potentially benefiting from the move. But something that intrigues me is that, you know, national parks are affected by this. Now there's all types of illegal camping, unpermitted hiking, and apparently base jumping in Yosemite, which is something that is super popular amongst the thrill seekers in the world. And, you know, I could just only imagine, like, nobody's policing this type of activity. Honestly, I even, like, considered it, you know, for me, you know, to, like, be a good opportunity to go see this. I'm not, like, saying that this behavior is, you know, unauthorized or should, you know, be disallowed. I'm not really in agreement with that, you know, because the whole illegal camping thing, you know, I mean, you could even see the first comment in this little thing right here. Shout out to I'm Corey Sherman, verified apparently. It says illegal camping, unpermitted hiking, and all these phrases mean are people enjoying nature without Uncle Sam getting his cut. It's fine. It's our land, not the government's land. I agree. Like, you know, let the people enjoy themselves. here's the problem with the whole government shutdown and its impact on the national park, though. And the only reason I bring this topic up, and for those of you that are listening, I know it may not necessarily interest you as much. I like to get outdoors. I like to hike. I like to do outdoors recreational activities. So, this is very intriguing to me because this is especially Yosemite, as that's highlighted here. It is certainly a location that is on my bucket list that I really want to go to. That hike that I just featured in that image in itself is the most prestigious hike and one of the hardest hikes in all of the United States. Something that's on my bucket list that one day I will do. Right now, seems like a pretty good opportunity to capitalize it, mainly because you don't need a permit to go, which is something that is really prevented a lot of people from going, is because you need to apply for this permit. The lottery system for this permit is you have better luck at times winning, a scratch off, it's not necessarily guaranteed, right? And it's just, there's so many other factors involved in terms of getting this type of permit, and whether or not you can, even if you get the permit, you get approved for it, okay, now you gotta find days that are available for you that may not suit you as well. It's just tough, all right, but the problem with it is that now this means people who are running these national parks, all right, rangers, the sorts, they're out of jobs, they're out of work, and they play such a pivotal role in our national parks and our protected lands, and just keeping them safe, keeping them maintained, educating the thousands and potentially millions of visitors that we get to all the national parks every year. It's a key part in our infrastructure, how we go about maintaining this natural wonder that is available to us in our United States. And this government shutdown affects it in so many different ways. Now, listen, a little bit of freedom never hurt anybody, but with that type of freedom comes just a wave of, I guess, irresponsible behavior. Damn well. People are a little bit crazy, right? Talk about mentals. We're getting mental. I mean, you give the people too much freedom, and they're just going to fuck up a good thing, right? It just happens all too often. So I fear for our national parks. I fear, with this Trump administration, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I've been fearing for our national parks since day one. And, they especially when he appointed Elon Musk with his old freaking task force over there, certainly showed light of that, and really, budget cuts all over in terms of federal employees, and just affecting all different types of, workers across the land. I mean, again, open your eyes, people, a little bit, just a little bit. It doesn't take much with this administration. You can say one thing, Border Patrol is under control, but everything else, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I did find this just interesting, and who knows how long this is going to take place. This government shutdown has lasted long enough, and oddly enough, this is the second government shutdown that Trump has been a part of, right? Seemed to be a common theme with him. Not to mention that he just joked recently that, hey, what if it just so happens that we're involved in a war, in time for the 2028 elections, and, we can pause our presidential elections, which would inherently give him more time in office. The president joked about that. All right, just let that sink in for a little bit. All right. Crazy stuff. Unconstitutional, to say the least. All right. But yeah, again, it's just something that, I really want to touch on because it's just, it interests me as a hiker and just somebody that likes to travel outdoors and all that. It's very bizarre. It didn't even really cross my mind that this was going on. I was like, wow, shit. But apparently, those that, are, those thrill seekers out there, those, adventurers, they were quick to the gun. I mean, I could just see it now, like just people just base jumping off Yosemite, just, without a care in the world, just screw it, because you're not allowed to base. I believe you're not allowed to base jump, or you need like heavy amounts of like permits and things like that, to base jump in Yosemite. So it's not like you just like go and do that, thing. Oh man. All right, what do we got here? 10:44 p.m. Eastern Time as I'm talking to you, whether you're joining us now live on Twitch or YouTube, or you're watching in post-production on YouTube or Twitch. We appreciate you, as always. Keep showing up. A couple of more topics, and then I'm going to get out of here, man. It's episode 20. All right, it's Monday night. I'm tired, I think, I said I'm at least to an hour today. I could go longer. I just, it's been a little bit. I know the Mental Mondays have been gone for a couple of weeks now. Mainly, I had my marathon a couple of weeks back, and, I just, I was out. I wasn't even home the day after, which was Monday. I had the equipment to go. We had done a sports show, but I just, wasn't feeling the Mental Mondays. The following week, especially just being on vacation with the fam, like it is, you can only do so much, right? The following week, I was around, I was home, but decided to take the week off as well. Hey, listen, as much as I do, love getting on here, and as much as the show is, the mantra is keep showing up, you gotta take, you gotta prioritize yourself at the end of the day, man. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. So, that's just it. Or, hey, listen, so happens I'm, take a week off, whatever. It's not like I wasn't doing anything either, we're still doing sports shows in between, things like that, me and Dub been getting busy, if you haven't, go check it out. We got a bunch of shorts out there, bunch of great episodes, Epis Sports Radio, episode 41 and 42 out now on YouTube, so go check those out. For episode 41, we actually have all the time stamps in the comments and in the description of the video on YouTube. So if you're, if you're new to the show, if you've been around for a while, that's something new that we're trying to feature and just make it easier for you guys to view the content. And because I know it's tough. Like me and Dub almost did a 4-hour show the other day. And this is the one that I actually timestamped, so go check it out. That was our longest show ever, and I timestamped all of it. And it really, I think I did a pretty good job of it, and hit a bunch of the topics that are in there. And, that way you could really get the whole feel for the show, and just kind of like skim as you will. You tap on that timestamp, it'll take you right to it, and there you go. You get it right into that topic. I know, it's just not easy, especially if you don't have no reference, like what it is, the breakdown of the show, how other people may have it set up. So, you know, these are the types of things that, you know, I'm trying to make easier for you, the viewer. And again, it does require a lot of my time and effort as well to put into it. So, you know, bear with me. Always trying to make those small improvements. And hey, you know, the better I get it, the better the show will be, the better it will be for you as well. 2 more topics, and then we're going to recap this week's mental health video of the week, and then we're going to get out of here for episode 20. All right, we're going to finish that off. Another, you know, topic that, you know, just hits home, and I kind of did want to do this and talk about this on the sports show with Dub, because, you know, he is a fellow EMT of mine. It's how we met. We met at Midwood Ambulance years ago. And just recently, all right, it's been reported that the EMS division at Lenox Hill Hospital in the city, District 4, 5, 6, and 7, all right, are being disbanded. No more. Everybody working there is at risk of losing their jobs. Apparently, they've been told that they can transfer elsewhere, you know, within the Northwell system, you know, but, you know, apply to other jobs, even though, you know, like there is Northwell EMS out in Long Island. I would imagine that they have available buses within that you know, division or that district out there in Long Island, you know, near where I work, actually. It's like right around the corner. But the craziest part about it is, like, you know, especially for me, it kind of hits home because these are the exact ambulances in which I trained on as a student of paramedicine. You know, when I was in paramedic school, I worked on these ambulances. I had my first cardiac arrest. Was it 11? I think it was 11X or 11Y. I'm not sure. But, you know, I may forget the bus, but I'll never forget the crew. And I'll never forget that night, man. And just, you know, having done that, having been on those ambulances, some great people. I know a lot of them are still there. You know, that's a very tight house, Lenox Hill Hospital, and especially for EMS. A lot of old-timers been there. People have been in, you know, it's not easy getting into that one, especially because they were unionized with 1199. So, you know, to just lose all that, you know, on top of those, you know, great benefits, everything, a lot of those people, you know, have kids, just great folk. Oh, and, you know, at the end of the day, you know, doing amazing things out there. I never got the impression that any one of those people on any of those buses would slack. I tell you what, I've seen a lot of negligence in the EMS field, you know, in my time there. Partially was the reason why I had left. The other reason was financials. It just didn't, like, make sense to actually, you know, stick around because you know, just the pay wasn't worth it. But I've seen a lot of negligence, and the people that worked for this department in Lenox Hill, you know, certainly gave me the impression that they were, you know, not only there for the paycheck, but just for the people. And, you know, we're always willing to work. We're always, you know, willing to go that extra mile and do their job. And, you know, it's just sad. It's sad because overall, you know, right now, for the 911 system, the response time for EMS, you know, could be up to an hour as is. You could be literally waiting for an hour for an ambulance and your life is on the line. And as we all know, in healthcare, that is far too much time. That is literally the threshold between life and death. And now you're already cutting, you know, a great number of ambulances away from this 911 system that patrol that, like, central, you know, part of Manhattan, essential to north, even south parts of Manhattan. Sometimes they even go into Queens. You know, that's how necessary those ambulances are. And what? Because of budget cuts, you know, as much as I, you know, love Northwell, I've been working with them and been, you know, working under the Northwell umbrella for a little over 5 years now. You know, recently the CEO of the company has stepped down. There are a lot of changes locally that I've noticed in terms of upper management. And it seems like there's an unwillingness to spend money in places that matter. And mainly your employees, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Because you are nothing without the people that work for you. You are nothing without the people that keep the train going. You know, somebody's got to operate that shit. And when you don't want to pay people to do certain things, well, especially in healthcare, guess who suffers? Not upper management. That's not who. It's the people on the low on the totem pole, which is the patients, for one. They suffer first and foremost, and most notably. Then your employees. And if your employees are suffering, well, don't expect whatever it is you're trying to achieve last very long, because you know you need a good foundation to build off of. And if you're running a organization or a company into a ground due to, you know, an unwillingness to support the very people that you rely on, well, you know, what do you expect? Truthfully, I don't know what to tell you. You know, like, it's just, you know, it's not something you can do and think that, all right, it's going to be sustainable. It's just not. And again, you know, I you know, my heart goes out, you know, to all the employees and all the fellow EMTs and paramedics that are out of a job because of this. I'm sure, you know, knowing a lot of those people I've met, and, you know, obviously those who I don't know that are there, I'm sure they're, you know, capable and will be able to find their feet. But hey, man, you know, having that uncertainty, especially for a lot of those that, you know, they don't want to leave. They like it. And, you know, rely on those benefits, man. Those $11.99 benefits are you know, hard to come by. And, you know, if they now have to forfeit that all because of, you know, some corporate greed or, you know, just budget cuts in general, then what a damn shame. And at the end of the day, the worst part of it all is that this is literally going to be life or death. To be quite honest with you, for thousands of New York residents. And I'm not just talking like, I mean, in a matter of like a couple of years. 2 years, 3 years, like, I mean, maybe even less. I'm not basing that number off of anything right now, but it's like a rough estimate. But truthfully, like, this is what, if I had to bet on it, that's what we're looking at. You know, this is so important, and this is like such a story that's just being like, all right, you know, swept on the rug. Why? Because it's the same old story. Who gives a shit, really? Right? Until it actually affects you. You know, until grandma all of a sudden, you know, choked on, you know, a biscuit on dinner, and you didn't know how to respond and how to act, and, you know, you called the ambulance, but hey, you know, but normally would, you know, be there and 5 minutes ended up being a 25-minute response time, and guess who's dead? Grandma. You know, I mean, it's really just that simple. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue, as is already. It always was. It has been. You know, on top of that, you also don't want to pay these people who are already, understaffed, overworked, stressed. Yeah, and then you want to not pay them a livable wage. It might cause them to just move a little bit slower. Not for nothing. All right. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily tie into the theme of the show, so let me, I apologize. Though, these are some topics that I really did want to hit. I could have brought it up on the sports show, but, these are mental aspects because, and I feel like it's more fitting, for the whole mental aspect of things because, hey, man, this inherently is going to affect the lives of millions and mentally, that's an issue, yeah. So, there you go. All right. And one more topic, the final topic before we recap this week's mental health video of the week. All right, I did just an honorable mention because I came across this obviously the other day. Well, not the other day. She died on October 1st. All right, so the top of October. It's been 12 days since it happened. This was notoriously just a woman that changed planet Earth, and I say that in the best way possible. For the better. It was an important person of our lives, a primatologist and anthropologist. Okay, Jane Morris Goodall. All right, died on October 1st, 2025, at the age of 91. She's from London, England. She, like I said, was an English primatologist and anthropologist, regarded as a pioneer in primate ethology and described by many publications as the world's preeminent chimpanzee expert. She was best known for more than 6 decades of field research on the social and family life of wild chimpanzees in the Kasakela chimpanzee community at Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania. All right. 1965, Goodall was awarded a PhD in ethology from the University of Cambridge. In the 1960s, Goodall published several accounts of her research in Tanzania and a series of articles in National Geographic. Her first book-length study, In the Shadow of Man, published 1971, was later translated into 48 languages. She founded the Jane Goodall Institute in 1977 to promote wildlife conservation, followed by the Roots and Shoots Youth Program in 1991, which grew into a global network. All right, Goodall also established wildlife sanctuaries and reforestation projects in Africa and campaigned for the ethical treatment of animals in animal testing, animal husbandry, in captivity. Goodall was appointed a United Nations Messenger of Peace in 2002 and advised organizations such as Save the Chimps and the Society for the Protection of Underground Networks. Okay, there you have it. You could get into more about Goodall, Jane Goodall, but there is her little... And I got... Listen, don't shoot me. Don't shoot them. Oh, where'd you get that? Got the information right there from Wikipedia. Don't you, all the you truthers, whatever, coming after me. Okay. It's out there. It's on Wiki. All right. But I do have this video from Jane Goodall, and I just wanted to premise the video by giving you a little rundown. If you didn't know who she was and what she was about and what she's done, for our society. And if there's anybody that deserves mention, it sure is good old Jane Goodall. So this is one that really hit home to me, and it's going to tie into mental health. So I think it's a great way to end tonight's episode, and I'll talk a little bit about that afterwards. So here you go. I'll pull that up.
People that you don't like.
Absolutely, there are people I don't like. And I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
Would he be one of them?
Oh, absolutely, he'd be the host. And you can imagine who I'd put on that spaceship.
Who?
Along with Musk would be Trump and some of Trump's real supporters. And then I would put Putin in there. And I would put President Xi. I'd certainly put Netanyahu in there.
So you went after Netanyahu.
Put them all on that spaceship.
Send them off.
In the place where I am now, I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave? I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters, and you are here for a reason. And I just hope that that reason will become apparent as you live through your life. I want you to know that whether or not you find that role that you're supposed to play, your life does matter, and that every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. I want you to understand that we are part of the natural world. And even today, where the planet is dark, there still is hope. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. Above all, I want you to think about the fact that we are part, when we're on planet Earth, we are part of Mother Nature. We depend on Mother Nature for clean air, for water, for food, for clothing, for everything. And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for those that will follow. You have it in your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best. While you're still on this beautiful planet Earth that I look down upon from where I am now.
Do you have people...
Man, there you go. That's, wow. I mean, talk about a foreshadowing, just message to, she knew, man. She knew. She was coming near the end of her days, and at the age of 91, rest in peace, Jane Goodall. What a powerful message to leave behind. Shout out Honor. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch, bro. How you doing, man? That's all right. Showing up is all that matters, right? It don't matter whether it's early, late. You were here. That's all that matters, bro. You showed up, and I appreciate you as always, bro. Thank you. Hope all is well. Hope your Mental Health Monday went well, and I hope the rest of the week, as always, bro, goes well for you. We're about to end the shows in a little bit, probably next 5 minutes. But just played a video there for everybody. Jane Goodall, an interview back in March of this year, and a lot to unpack. Obviously, she took a little hit at Trump and Elon and even Netanyahu, and his far right government. Just she went after a lot of people, and God bless her, man. I love her. What she has done, for our history books is unmatched, and she made such an impact, more than people will ever, truly understand. And it's all been documented there, man. Just a genuine good soul, and a very powerful message to send off to everybody, and she almost had me in tears. I honestly did, towards the end of that, just thinking about, the climate, and, a big topic of what I talked about earlier is national parks, and, how they're being affected right now, with the government shutdown, and, I get so fearful of our national parks. We work so hard to sustain and conserve. And yet, this administration is just running right through it, quite literally. I even heard recently that Trump was considering putting in a roadway through one of the most, remote parts of Alaska that just, the amount of, the amount of just chaos that it will inflict upon the ecosystem is just irreversible. And it's sad that, we're seeing this amongst other things, But Jane Goodall was somebody that fought for that greater good. And when in regards to animals and how we treat them, and just, in general, she was a huge advocate for and animal studying, and how we tested for medicine, and conducted all these experiments with animals. She played an integral part in how we treat them, and keeping things humane, and and then just so much more. So rest in peace to one of a kind, Jane Goodall. That's it. That's all I have for you guys tonight. All right, let's recap this week's mental health video of the week. All right, I'm feeling it, man. I'm still, the vibes are still good here. All right, one more time, we just, woo, hey. Ah. Just remember, baby, you gotta plant that seed and let it grow. All right? Don't get caught up in the bullshit. Just do it. Discipline is what matters most. Showing up is what matters most. You gotta start somewhere. So plant that seed and let it grow. It may take time.
What, do me a favor, pause it.
It may seem insurmountable at times, but I promise you, you'll come out on the other side for the better and happier. So, keep doing your thing, right? Woo! All right, just wanted to vibe a little bit there, right there, before we recap this week's mental health video of the week. And listen, if you're interested in this, you like it, first time seeing it, whatever, go back, check. I have a bunch of, I don't even know, in terms of the mental health video of the weeks, I don't even know how many videos I have out there now. It's got to be upwards of like 30 plus, maybe 40, and they're all good. They're all relevant to today. They age all well, like fine wine. All right, so go on the socials, check them out. You got it on YouTube, you got it on Instagram. You got some of the recent ones on TikTok. I don't have a huge catalog on TikTok because we had just started doing it, and you have it on Threads as well. All right. this is this week's mental health video of the week. If you were with us earlier in the show, you know what's up, but care to chime in, comment about it, what you think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Hey, if you think it's crap, let me know it's crap. I don't know, you know, like whatever. I'm open. This is a part of planting that seed, man, because you know this is, you know, a part of what I'm doing here. Even just, you know, posting gardening videos and talking, like it's just a matter of connecting. You know, finding other ways, connecting with my fan base and connecting, you know, with my community, and just, you know, seeing what sticks, man. Like, you know, these are things that in the past, which I really just kind of hesitated from, you know, posting or talking about, because, you know, for whatever reasons, you know, oh, I don't think you guys would be interested. I don't think you would like it. You know, it's like, and that's, you know, been the, change of approach with a lot of what I'm doing now, not only with my content, but just in life in general. It's, who cares, right? Whether I, you know, fall flat on my face, or, you know, I somehow, you know, do the right thing and come out successful on the other side of it. It's just a matter of planting the seed and letting it grow. And hey, listen, if you plant the seed and it turns out to be a dud, so fuck it, you throw it away, try it again. That's the way. That's how it goes, man. You're not all the seeds you plant are going to grow to full harvest or to full bloom, for a garden reference for you. It's just not going to happen. For you to think that that is going to happen is just a completely unrealistic expectation you're putting on yourself, that is only inherently going to put you down a negative path of just carnage for your own mental health. So, don't do it to yourself, man. Don't do it to yourself, okay? That's just too much. It's too much of an expectation. Put it on you. Understand that failure is a part of it. Understand that the key to success is failure. And I think overall, the more and more you realize that, the happier you will be on a day-to-day basis. And understand that, you know, you are right where you need to be, man. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's so easy to think that you're not. But that's the mindset that, you know, you just put yourself in constantly, you know. And hey, I always say this because I'm speaking from, you know, experience. All right, one more time for this week's mental health video of the week. Oh, gotta recenter this a little bit for you guys. A little off centered here. There we go, much better. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to plant the seed. Have the idea, come up with a plan, and execute. Things take time. It may not be easy at first, but eventually you get better at it. But it starts with planting the seed. It's the key to life. And eventually, come out on the other side, and you'll get rewarded. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. All right, one more time, then we're going to get out of here for you guys tonight. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to plant the seed. Have the idea, come up with a plan, and execute. Things take time. It may not be easy at first, but eventually you get better at it. But it starts with planting the seed. It's the key to life. And eventually, come out on the other side, and you'll get rewarded. Keep showing up. All right. Keep showing up, man. Listen, it's a bold statement, Cotton, all right? Oh, look at me. I'm I just want to show you the mountains. It's a bold statement, Cotton, all right? It's the key to life, just planting seeds, baby. But listen, in the simplest terms, it's true, okay? Just with anything, whether it be the day-to-day or you're just trying to start a new career, man, you have the idea, well, plant it. Stick to it. Do whatever it is you got to do to water it, maintain it, and, you know, hopefully it blossoms into something beautiful. And that's it, man. You know, if it does, we keep on trying. We keep on pushing. We keep on moving along. We keep on moving forward. You know, this too shall pass, right? As always. No? That's it. That's the message I have for you guys this week, okay? As always, can't thank you enough for all the support, all right? Whether you're coming to us in any form in which you're coming to us and supporting the channel, whether it's a simple like or view on one of the socials, whether it's you joining on live, you know, commenting on a video, you know, hitting that subscribe button, whatever it is. And listen, you know, I'm here for you. You know, my co-host W. Dubois, he's here for you as well. If you ever, you know, need somebody to talk to, you're more than welcome to come here on the show and talk, as always, every Mental Monday. Or you could just hit me up privately, and I'd be happy to talk to you and, you know, lend an ear or just a helping hand if I can. So, all right, everybody. Happy Mental Health Monday. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night. I mean, there ain't much left time in the night as you know, we're streaming here live to 11:19 p.m. Eastern time, but hope the rest of your week goes well. Hope you enjoy it. All right, one day at a time, you'll get there. You're already one day down. The weekend's coming. You know, we're getting into the thick of October. Can you believe it? Holiday season is upon us. I think it's the Canadian Thanksgiving. Halloween's coming. All right, so what is it, Indigenous Peoples Day today? All right, everything's happening. All right, so as always, keep showing up. It's your boy Matty B, Epis Radio. This is Mental Mondays with Epis. This concludes episode 20. Plant the seed and let it grow. Thank you for joining me, as always. And, yeah, you already know what I'm going to say. Until next time, keep showing up.
Wake up! Is every number where it was? Has this dream stopped?
Thank you, broski. Love you, man. Love you. And I love all of you. Have a wonderful night and a happy Mental Health Monday. Better plant that damn seed, all right? Let me know how it goes. Until next time, everybody. It's your boy Matty B, Epis Radio. Tuning out. You're damn straight, bro. I planted a lot of seeds. Yeah, baby. No more for me. I'm done. I got snipped. My testicles hurt. Keep showing up, everybody.